So I am trying to take my time to work on some new bigger projects, both in film and in cosplay. And I have a little side thought that's like niggling in the back of my mind of something I want to write. So I'm trying to figure out what the best way to go about all of this is in comparison with, you know, the daily vlog, how I balance this and also wanting to do more, because I always want to do more, right? Like, but it's not always possible. I don't always have the bandwidth, the time, the energy, the money to do more. So being able to like cherry pick the best ideas is super important. Now, when I first started this, you know, I had my notebook, I have things like written down, stuff that's going on, but when you get into like the day by day, the daily sort of grind of a project like this, that's supposed to be, you know, every day for a year, you get worn down by it a little bit. And I just read a really interesting article on Fast Company about how millennial women are starting to burn out when they are around 30. And it was a really interesting thought piece, which I'll link below in case you're interested in reading it, about how often we take on too much stuff and being able to cut through sort of the clutter and do what you want to do versus doing what you feel like you have to do, and also not being able to see forward towards the future and understand sort of what the finished product is, what the end goal is. So I've been thinking a lot about that recently, and I don't necessarily have any conclusions except that I want to be more strategic in the things that I am taking on and not just sort of willy-nilly all over the place. So not that I feel like you guys have seen me be willy-nilly all over the place, but I just wanted to put that down so I can have this to think about later. So thanks for listening. Oh, feel that sunshine. Oh, it's a glorious day here in New York today. Again, unseasonably warm. I am a-okay with that. You know, I'm headed to a meeting, but I wanted to take a second and say, so my conversation this morning, or my statement this morning in regards to millennials burning out, figuring out how to prioritize things, led to a really intense conversation with Eric on the way to work. And he says I'm not a millennial, or at least he says I don't act like one. Whether that's true or not isn't the point. I think the point that I was making is that I'm feeling overwhelmed, and he totally missed that. It went off on a whole other tangent. So Eric says I'm not a millennial because I don't act like whiny and entitled, and I work hard. And I say I am a millennial because, one, I'm a millennial, and then also I am sort of at a loss at what I want to do and where I'm headed and what my overall goal is, and I feel sort of at sea without it. So that's, I think, where the disconnect is coming in, and I haven't really been able to sort of get to a point where I can clarify what I want and what my overall outcome is. And so the article I was talking about is about not knowing what that outcome is and how that affects the way that people my age approach life and work. And I do feel like I'm spreading myself very thin. Just have to be careful about that. Existential crises aside, it's St. Patrick's Day. I'm gonna go home and have a drink.